Hey guys, what's good? Mike here, Laker Talk. Let's talk Lakers basketball. In this video, I want to talk LeBron James scoring 51 points tonight. I want to talk about what I'm thinking about LeBron James. And I want to give my thoughts on what's going on with Lonzo Ball and his lack of scoring over the last couple of games. I mean, it's gotten really bad over the last couple of games, but I'm going to give you my thoughts, my true, honest thoughts. Really no emotion into it because we did win tonight. So I can think logically and think clearly into what I feel is going on with Lonzo Ball and how this might play out long term. We lost yesterday in Orlando, didn't even shoot a video. We kind of like just throw that one under the rug. First road trip. And this is what I'm thinking. We're coming on a road trip, Orlando, Miami, and we have Cleveland. In my mind, I think, and I don't know it's for sure, LeBron normally invites his teammates to his house in Cleveland, wherever it is, in Akron or whatever it is, around that Thanksgiving time. If I remember, he has guys come over, they hang out, they cook a good meal. I think that might be the case. I don't know. It could be. We're going into Orlando on a roadie, playing against really three teams that we could beat. We kind of overlooked Orlando. That's my thing. And obviously, when we're down by 18 or whatever, coach did something right. You saved the legs of your players, and you kind of just call it a wash midway through that game. So that was the Orlando game. We could not go down 0-2. That would have been a bad look. Magic and Rob was in the building in Miami, and LeBron goes off for 51 points. Now, I want to just think about what LeBron James is doing right now. 16 years in the league. He started when he was 17. He put up 51 points tonight. Now, and I'm going to say all this, and he looked like he barely broke a sweat in this game. He put up 51 points. On 31 shots, he made 19 of those. That's 61%, 61.7%. He ended up with 8 rebounds, 3 assists, couple steals, 3 personal fouls in 38 minutes. And it barely looked like he broke a sweat. Now, I haven't really watched LeBron James game after game after game for 98% of his career. I'm getting to see that now. But it's crazy to me that he can do this deep into his career. Now he's going to be 34. Heck, I'm 43. I still feel young. So he's 10 years younger than me, and so I get it. But he has a lot of miles on his legs. But the one thing about LeBron James, knock on wood, I've never seen a superstar in my entire life that has never been injured. The dude is never injured. He's like Iron Man. He plays every single game. He takes rest, but he's never injured. There's no ankle sprain that I've ever witnessed. Knock on wood. There's no knees. There's no elbows, there's no shoulder pain, all that stuff. The guy is incredible. And I watched today's game and I kind of didn't really get too excited about him scoring 51 points. You know, it just looked like it was just natural in the pace of the game. The dude shot 6 out of 8 3-pointers. He's now shooting really good on the 3-point line. And he's shooting way back at like half court, that 30-foot mark. It's impressive to see. So I just want to shout out LeBron James. That's just my thoughts. And I don't talk too much about LeBron James because he is the best basketball player in the world, and we all know what he can do. But that was just really impressive to me. I just got to point that out. Also, I got to point out this. A lot of people are talking about the lack of scoring on our guys. I kind of tweeted out LeBron James taking over this game, and everyone's like, yeah, but we can't beat the Cavs. Here's the thing. You got to remember, on the road, your superstars need to be more assertive and take over the games. History has shown role players, or just players in general, non-superstar, non-all-star players, generally fold or don't play as well on the road. Okay, at home, they feel more comfortable. They can score around, they can play above their averages. On the road, that's not the case. All right, it's rare that you get non-all-star players to hit their averages on the road. That's when your superstars need to play above, so he scores 51 points, he's averaging 27, 7, and 7, right? That's typically how it goes. Look, James Harden goes on the road, he needs to score 41 points, for his team to win on the road. That's typically just the nature of basketball. And so don't trip about LeBron James scoring the bulk of the points today. He took over. He is at his old home that he brought 2 chips to, and he took over. And when a guy is scoring at that rate, that clip, you're not going to have a lot of scoring in other areas. So I wouldn't even trip about the fact that other people weren't chipping in today. It's different long term at home and different things. But so let's move on to Lonzo Ball. So shout out to LeBron James. It's very impressive. I mean, dude is crazy. He's Wilt Chamberlain. What did Colin say? He's half Michael Jordan, or he's half Magic Johnson, 30% Magic Johnson, 30% Wilt Chamberlain, and 40% like Alien or Incredible Hulk. The dude's crazy. So I thought that was pretty funny and pretty accurate. But moving on to Lonzo Ball. What's going on with Lonzo? Lonzo hasn't scored. He shot 1 for 5 today or something like that, 1 for 6, 16%, or whatever it is. Horrible. And he took 5 shots yesterday and scored 0 points. So he scored 2 points in 2 games. Today he played better. 22 minutes, 7 rebounds, or 8 rebounds, or 6 rebounds and 7 assists. Right? He was still there for when he was, in those other areas. But he's just not scoring. Let's just reset this. Lonzo Ball at his peak, where Lonzo Ball can actually be an all-star, Lonzo Ball could average 12 to 14 points and be an all-star. Take this back last year, right? Obviously now with the interjection of LeBron James, it's moved Lonzo Ball out of this position where you won't see him get triple doubles like he did last year. All right, the guy with the ball in his hand, when he needs to do the most, he can score around that 12-point mark, that 10 to 12-point mark. I actually expected him or wanted to see him go upwards to like 13-point, 14-point mark. That would have been really impressive for Lonzo Ball. Obviously, with the injection of LeBron James, that changed the whole dynamic. The ball's not in his hand. He's not playing a lot of minutes. So he's not rebounding at the clip that he was last year. He's not putting in assists, at the clip that he was last year. Those things are changing. And so now he's playing off the ball and he's not scoring. All right. But when you see him in post game, he's kind of like almost conceding the fact that he's not a scorer. I just heard it today that he goes, I don't care about scoring, I care about winning, right? And so he's falling back into what he naturally is, this guy who just cares about winning. Now, so I'm gonna say this. So going back to what I was saying is Lonzo Ball, he could become an all-star at 12 to 14, averaging 12 to 14 points, if he was able to put up 7 and 7 like he used to. Okay, and so that's saying that Lonzo Ball is more than just a scorer. Okay, just naturally, he's more than just a scorer. But everyone, and myself included, everyone's like, damn, he can't even shoot a 3-point. I mean, he can't even make 2 points. I mean, the guy over the last couple games hasn't scored, and we're like, what's going on? Like, I mean, an NBA player can't even, he's not even scoring, right? Number 2 pick, he's not even scoring the ball. So my thought process is Lonzo Ball naturally is not a scorer, But he could make an all-star team based on how he was playing last year if he can average 12 to 14 points. Come this year, he's not, the ball is out of his hands. He's not in his natural state. And now his game has decreased. His game has digressed in a sense. Everyone's noticing it. Everyone can see it. He's not impactful on the offensive end. He's not impactful as much as he could be, you know, passing the ball and things like that. He gets the ball in his hands here in those spurts, and he'll do an alley-oop to JaVale McGee, and he'll look good here and there, right? He'll grab a rebound, he'll get an outlet to LeBron James or somebody, and you know, it's just not impactful. We don't have the Lonzo effect like we did last year. This ball movement and things like that. The ball stops at LeBron James, and other things are happening, right? When Lonzo tries to take a three, he comes off, he sets pick for LeBron. If he gets the ball back from the 3-point line, he tries to take three, he misses, and you know, he gets pulled or whatever. He's, you know, today there's no Rondo, and he only played 22 minutes. Clearly today though, I saw like maybe there was like 4 or 5 opportunities where he could have drove to the rim and tried to get the foul and make a layup, and he was just totally like scared of that and didn't want to do it, or chose not to. And you know, he could say I'm looking for the pass, whatever. People could say he's scared, whatever. The truth is, yeah, we would all want him to drive to the hole and try to, you know, get the foul, get to the line, do something. We would love to have a point guard with his abilities to put in some layups here and there, just to drive to the rim and do some layups. You know, 5 or 6, similar. You know, stop relying so much on the 3-point shot, but try to get to the rim. But he's too quirky, and his you know, quirks that he's had since he was a kid, his shot, the way he shoots the ball is just weird. He just can't do a layup. It can't do a normal layup. You know. Having said that, Lonzo, if this remains, right, now he's going to start to fall back into like this guy, like a Andre Roberson type of guy, that he's not seen as a scorer, but he's seen as everything else. And eventually this is going to pull him, possibly it's going to lower his minutes. If another guy comes in and play better than him, it's going to lower his minutes. Lonzo might get set to the bench, right? If this continues, if he can't score the ball, you know, and he can't be impactful. He's obviously not playing in the fourth quarters, you know, and it just becomes a trend a month or two from now, or a month from now, he's gonna get moved to the bench, possibly. Might stay in, but if he's not a scorer, he's gonna get moved at some point to the bench. Long term, he might get moved. You know, he might get, you know, obviously easily put on the trading block if he's not impactful anymore. There's no Lonzo effect. What can he do if he can't score the ball? If he can do a couple assists here and there, he's now moved to a role player. He's gonna get possibly packaged at some point. Now, having said that, if Lonzo Ball gets moved and gets traded to a team where the ball's in his hand and he can produce Lonzo effect type of stuff, you could see where he might be able to flourish. I don't see that's going to happen over the years that LeBron James is here. It's just not. The ball stops in LeBron James' hands. He kind of like thinks a little bit before he takes a 3-point shot until he calls for the pick or whatever. The ball just doesn't move. And so Lonzo, if God doesn't send him, you know, a 40% 3-point shot, he's going to be very limited. And unfortunately, it's sad to see, but I think long term it's going to come to that. First off, it's going to come to, and this is if he can't score the ball, he's going to get moved to the bench, or he's going to continue to have this 22-minute mark playing the basketball game. That's just, you know, I mean, he's just kind of like dropped down to a reserve type of role, right? If you're playing 20 minutes, that's like a reserve role. He's going to get moved to the bench, and then if there's something that comes up, you know, and he's going to be packaged and probably traded at some point. And if he can move to a team that allows him to flourish, you know, he'll definitely become a better player down the road. But other than that, or, you know, you stick it out and you utilize Lonzo for all his other traits. But right now, I don't see, you know, we need him to get back up to that 10, 12, you know, 12-point mark scoring the basketball. But right now he's struggling. So it could just be that he's in a little bit of offensive slump. He's gonna turn around for the next few games, and you know, we're talking about something else. But that's my thoughts on Lonzo. A lot of people are saying, Mike, I've seen enough. You know, they're tired of it. He's not gonna score 20 points. That's just not him. He's not gonna score 20 points. But you want to see him a little bit more aggressive, getting to the hole, getting some layups, scoring. You know, start off getting around that 8 to 10, 12-point mark. And then hopefully he can start averaging around 12 points consistently. You know, that's my thoughts on Lonzo. I don't want to say totally convincingly he's going to get traded or whatnot, but long term, if he can't score the basket, you can't. The NBA, outside of all his other attributes, it's a make or miss league, and it's going to come to that if he can't score the basketball. So, to be seen. Let's hope he turns it around. I don't know. He just looks, I think the quirks are just catching up to him. Like, he just can't score the basketball. He's not that type, you know. And he's gonna always be inconsistent. That's my thoughts on the offensive end. You know, everything else he does at a nice clip, but offensively he just can't do it. And so, to be continued, man. Hopefully he turns it around. I'm watching and I'm rooting for him, but that's just what I see. Anyway, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for commenting, liking, subscribing. Let me say that again. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking. And thanks for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Holla at your boy. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.